Thomas Seconds here. Of course, if you don't know me by now, then you don't watch Game Day. Obviously here today against Lincoln, vibrant fan zone. Hopefully we can avenge that 5-3 loss. So obviously it's the fourth time we've played Lincoln this year, but or this season. But yeah, I want to avenge that 5-3 loss. I was there away. I don't know if you saw the game day after that. I was quite angry, quite annoyed. Thankfully, things have looked on a bit on the up since then. Obviously, we drew at Wickham, and we've gone on a bit of a run. So hopefully that can carry on today. Hoping for a 2-1 win. That's what 2-1, 3-1, hopefully. Obviously, it's gone unchanged, which is really refreshing to see. It's good to see. We moaned about the rotation for ages, didn't we? I know it's a bit of a shame in a way because old David Fisher and me, we've got nothing to moan about now, have we? So, but yeah, it's good. Obviously, Norris in goal again, which still unsure about, but we can't moan about that. He's keeping the same squad now, same team, starting the same 11. Obviously, we're going to play the 3 centre backs. Obviously, they're going to go forward. We're going to look attacking. So, really excited for today. Hopefully, that carries on. Hope we get a result. So, fingers crossed for that. As you can see, I've got the new retro release. Beautiful, not quite as beautiful as my fiance, but at the same time, yeah, I really like the retro shirt. So hopefully they release more. Couldn't resist putting it on today. Couldn't resist buying it. So fingers crossed they buy more. I could be a model, couldn't I? Up the town.
It's Nigel Gooding. We're here back at Portman Road for the match against Lincoln this afternoon. So lots of people in the fan zone this afternoon, which hopefully means there'll be a good crowd, and definitely a sense of optimism around the place. Amazing how much 3 matches can make a difference with a settled team. We've had 7 points out the last 9, so we're really back on course again. Potentially, if the results go away this afternoon, we could go back to top of the league, which is where we need to be. So I've seen the lineup for this afternoon. Pleased again that it's nice and settled. My only concern, which isn't really a major one, is I would probably prefer Jackson and Allwood up front rather than Keane. I know a lot of people rate Keane as one of our sort of more technically gifted strikers, but he's never really done it for me. I know he does get the ball in the net here and there, but I just prefer Norwood really for that physicality. Although I would prefer Norwood to take a few more of his chances. He's had an awful lot of shots, which is good, and I would prefer strikers to be taking those shots, but he needs to get a few more on target. Good to see Emir Hugh getting a really good run in the team now, and I think the last few matches has really shown he's starting to become the player he was born to be now. He's playing really well, physical on the ball, pushing forward, and I think, although I love Cole Scouse and always have done, I think the team has much more positivity going forward at the moment. We have been a bit too negative at times from our midfield with the ball going across and backwards rather than forwards, and I think now we've got that positivity from Hughes and Downs, and particularly when we've got Judge sitting there in the number 10 role, that is clearly his best position. Nice to see Teddy Bishop on the bench this afternoon, the dribbling Bishop. I think at these home games, these are tricky ones for us, and you look at our form at home and it hasn't been so good as away, and that's because teams will come and they just want to stop us playing. And I think someone like Bishop, he could be the player that we might need to bring on just to try and get the ball forward a bit more and dribbling forward at players. So on to this afternoon. What were my thoughts for a prediction for the score? Probably a 2-1. Maybe if I'm being a bit too optimistic, 3-1, but as a Town fan we can never be that optimistic. So looking forward to hopefully another really good game of intensity like the last one against Accrington Stanley, and 3 points for the Town. Up a Town.
Hi, it's David again. Professional first half, I thought we were excellent. Lincoln very limited. I was disappointed in Lincoln because I thought they were good before. Second half just became scrappy. It was all up in the air, all over the place. But professional performance, generally speaking, can't complain. I thought Keane held the ball up nicely. He's got a lovely touch. I would have brought Norwood on a bit earlier. That physical thing, and he was obviously up for it. But no, I mean, I'm delighted with the result. And Lincoln, very disappointing. If I'm going to have a gripe, which I will, I'll do two little gripes. One is Edwards, who the number of times that he's crying out for him to just ping a quick ball in, and he stands on it a moment, thinks about it, then cuts it back. How many times, if he just played a quick ball through, would there have been somebody through? The speed of thought just isn't there for somebody who's allegedly a winger. And the second one, which is a gripe of mine going back, it's not just for us, corners, late on, don't fanny around with it at the corner flag. Sears did it against Sheffield Wednesday a couple of years back. Sheffield Wednesday went down and scored. Fine, game management, keep 2 extra players back, to prevent the break. But you're still trying to score. I hate standing in the corner flag trying to sort of waste time, especially at that point. 6 minutes still to go. Stupid. But delighted with the result, delighted to be top of the league.
Okay, we're out at the end of the match. 3 more points for Town, and even more importantly, the Tractor Boys are top of the table again, back where we need to be. Quite an impressive performance again. In fact, the last 4 matches have all been impressive performances, but all in a different way. We had the intensity at Accrington. Today we had quite a lot of composure during the match to make sure that we stifled the attacks that Lincoln had. I was really impressed, particularly the first half, with some of the movement of the ball that Town were playing. Although in the second half, I did start to think we played it around a bit too much, around the edge of the box, and probably people like Hughes and probably a couple of other players could have tried to take shots just outside the area when we had the odd chance, and that's something they probably need to look at, just to see if we can try and force the keepers a bit more. But nice that we had a lot of possession there. Particularly impressed with the big bad Wolf today. He played outstandingly during the match. I think he defended well, and obviously got a deserved goal there. And I think that's exactly what we need to take into these next 3 matches. We've got 3 big games coming up against teams in the top, and I think that will really define where we move forward in that last part of the season. So 17 more games to go, 10 more at home. We need to make Portman Road a fortress now, or as I've heard, being called a stronghold rather than a fortress. But we need to make our home form count now. So here we go, up a Town.
Well, it feels good to be having fun again. Back to being top of the league. It's excellent. Obviously, Rotherham lost today, so Wickham didn't play. I guess it's because of the FA Cup or Bury. I can't quite remember which, but obviously, yeah, top of the league. It's brilliant. First things first, it's good to have a good system. We've got the overlapping centre backs, the 3-5-2. I've always liked 3-5-2 personally. I know we had found out against Accrington away, and we sort of got caught out, and he sort of went off it, didn't he? But we're back to it now. It's working. The overlapping centre backs. We finally got a system and a team that's winning and just performing like today. Brilliant first half. You can't deny that at all. Should have dominated a bit more than we did. Perhaps should have had 1 or 2 more goals. Keane's chance, unlucky not to find the back of the net. But there you go, we won 1-0. So second half not so good. We've sort of perhaps got a little bit more flaky. But apart from that, we've won, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, the system, it's sort of established side now, really, really good. Today, Who's, I thought, really good again. I think we moan about the rotation, we've moaned about it in the past, but at the same time it's benefited Who's a great deal. Players like Who's, at least anyway. There's 1 or 2 others, but definitely Who's, you can see that he's just coming to his level now, and that's why we signed him. It's great to see him back to fitness, and hopefully he can stay fit, because could be vital the second half of our season. I know I can mention Keane just now, but again, we're playing to his feet now, and that's how he likes it. It works. It's brilliant. It's like before, when he was one up front, it was hoofing it up there, and he was just losing it because he's not very good at it. But it's playing to his feet. It's how he likes to play, and I think he's going to be instrumental in how in the second half of our season. Norwood can't even get in the squad now, so Keane for me. I've always had his back. Like other people have told me, oh yeah, he's crap. like, hi Rob, hi Ian, you know, they've all kind of just said to me like, nah, I don't see what to deal with it, Keane, but he's slowly starting to show it, and it's good. Again, like I said earlier, I was at Lincoln a month ago. So different now, isn't it? You know, like I said, it's system. It's feel like a team now. Lincoln didn't look anything today, really. I think we made them look good at their place, and we've shown that today just by being such a different class. Chambers said that during the week. It's different class now, and if we can keep playing like that, we will go up. No doubt about that. I've said it now, we'll go up. I know I've been critical in the past, and we had to be, didn't we? Because what was it, 1 in 16 we won? So yeah, keep going like this, we'll go up, I will say. So obviously Peterborough next week, we've got Rotherham in a week. If we can get 4 points at those two, and then go to Sunderland, get a point or beat them, well, that'll be an excellent 4 games we've had. We had to win today. We need to get our home form on track, and we have. So fingers crossed this carries on now. We need to make this a fortress finally. After the first half season wasn't great, but we've got so many games here now. We need to carry on this form. Fingers crossed, and come on, you Blues.
Can't complain too much. Top of the league, happy days. Although any gripes I do have is down to the fact that we've probably only had 2 shots on target all game. Just first half, really good control, really good possession, really patient, and it was good. I can't complain about that, but against a really deep defence, just change it up a bit, maybe have a shot, just try something a bit different. But we got the goal at the right time, and second half, not a lot really to say, really. They saw the game out quite comfortably, although I would have liked them to play a little bit more with an eye on trying to get a second and just kill the game off that way. There's plenty enough quality in that squad to second half get a second and kill the game off. You're always asking for trouble if you try and cling on to it too early, and it looked like Town from the very beginning looked like they were trying to hold on, slow the game down from pretty much the start of the second half, barring 1 or 2 flashes of brilliance. But I can't complain, top of the league, and probably the most important win out of the next 4 matches, due to the fact that this was the one that we're most likely to win. Don't win this, then suddenly Rotherham on Tuesday, game against Peterborough next Saturday, and then obviously Sunderland away the weekend after. Could have been really tough, so to get the 3 points today that was needed is the first job done, and now we go into those 3 very tough games with an opportunity now to make sure we consolidate ourselves at least in the top 2, if not top of the league, and hopefully come out of that mini period with a set of really good results. Hopefully 8 from 12 I'll be very happy from, but nothing else really to say other than I hope the women tomorrow do well against Huddersfield, and that they can progress to the 5th round, which would be really, really good.